Hi there, welcome back everyone. This is the first live stream that I have done in literally ages. I was just looking back and it was 7 months since my last live stream. So I thought it was really time to get back and do a live stream with you, my awesome Aussie audience. Now, it'd be great if anyone is out there listening, pop me a chat. It would be really great to chat to you guys about anything home automation based, home assistant, smart, anything smart, cameras, locks, sensors. I did a little bit of a survey the other day on the channel, and I was talking about just wanting to find out from you as an audience what it is that you find really interesting. So I mentioned a couple of things in the way of security cameras, smart lights, smart sensors, and one other, might have been RoboVax or something like that. But it was just interesting to see what everyone was interested in. And I was quite surprised because I think the last time I did this, well, there's been a couple of things. I've asked what is the next product that you'd like to buy. And the last time that I got that was, I think people were saying cameras, security cameras were a big thing. I've also had a lot of feedback around sensors. So things like, especially millimeter wave sensors, so presence sensing seems to be something that the audience is really interested in. But this time, funny enough, it turned out to be lighting. So definitely lighting seems to be something of interest to people. And yeah, so if you are interested in lighting, let me know your comments and let's have a chat about lighting. I've been playing around. I moved into this house, it's over a year now. I think it was September 2023. So I've been here a year now. I've been doing a lot of renovations. And along with all the renos, I've been doing a lot of smart homes. So I've got, oh, hey, Christian, welcome. Yeah, second try. This is a new platform that I'm using here. Here we go, second try. Awesome. So glad you've been able to join us, Christian. Welcome to this, the first Simon Says Home Assistant podcast in 7 months. Not podcast, a live stream. I'm all over the place. I run a podcast as well as my YouTube channel. So, Christian, is there anything that is on your mind today? What have you been doing with home automation recently? I'm assuming if you're a member of my channel that you play with Home Assistant, perhaps some of the other platforms out there. So just getting back to what I was talking about earlier, there seems to be a lot of interest in smart lighting. And yeah, smart lighting is certainly something that is pretty popular. And I've been playing around a lot with the Shellys. I don't know if I've got any Shellys in my box here. I did have a box of goodies here. No, I think I've packed all the Shellys away. They're not in my box today. But one of the first things that I wanted to talk about on the live stream today was a little soldering iron that I just picked up. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have seen this little thing. It is called, hold it up there. It's called a Pine 64. Well, it's called a Pine Sill from Pine 64. Yeah. So this is a 12 to 21 volt, 17 to 60 watts, USB-C or barrel jack powered soldering iron. Now, the last time I had a soldering iron, well, the first time I had bought a soldering iron was literally over 35 years ago. When I left school, I was really excited about electronics. And I studied electronics for a while. And at that time, I think I got as a present from my parents, the good old Weller soldering station. You know, the old one with the little tip that actually went in there, and it had the little control via a magnet. So as the magnet gets hot, it cuts the circuit and controls the heat like that. So I had one of those, and I was keen to get a new point for it. I just fired it up not long ago, and I need to get a new point from it. But basically what happened was I went online and had a look at the points, and I found it was about $35 for me to get a new tip for my Weller. And instead, I came across this little guy. A lot of people talking about this guy, this Pinesil. And I thought, let me give it a try. And it's pretty cool. This is working on a USB-C. Now, you do need a really powerful USB-C adapter, so it won't work on a normal 1 or 2 amp supply. I've got my power supply for my laptop. I run this off. You plug it in, and then it has this little OLED screen over here. It's got 2 buttons. It's got an OLED screen. You plug it in, heats up super quickly, displays the temperature over there. It's got some real smarts. I think it goes up to something like 400 degrees Celsius, which should be pretty good for soldering. And it's pretty clever. It's got, for example, an accelerometer inside here. So if I put it down, I can set it to a system where it will basically turn itself off automatically. It uses these little nibs, which are, I think, compatible with a number of the different soldering irons out there. So I originally bought the unit. Now, in New Zealand dollars, this cost me $45 shipped from AliExpress, which is, I think, pretty amazing. If I think a Weller would have cost hundreds of dollars at the time when I bought it. So it came with this little tip. This is a little point. Christian is saying, let's just put Christian's stream up. Oh, I really like this new stream, but I can push it up. I am sad, but also finally honest enough to admit soldering is beyond my ability. Don't worry, Christian. I was ready to agree with you on that one as well. So my first 2 soldering attempts since getting back into soldering in the last year or 2, I first of all fried a Sonoff NS panel, the original NS panel, not the NS panel Pro. I was trying to solder on some contacts to flash it with the ESP Home flasher, and I managed to overheat it and kill one or other of the components. So that was my first attempt. My second attempt was pretty scary as well. Welcome to Johnny. Johnny's a long-time listener to my channel. Excellent. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good morning for me at the moment. It's 10:09 a.m. here in New Zealand, Auckland. But where about are you from, Johnny? And Christian, also, let us know where you're from. I'm assuming you guys are from somewhere. I think Christian might be from somewhere in Europe, I'm going to guess. And Johnny, perhaps somewhere in US. How's that for a guess? Anyway, getting back to soldering. So, yeah, totally, Christian. I was pretty much at the end of my tether with soldering. And I then thought, nah, let me get this one. Let's try this Pinesil and see what it's going to be like. Now, my old soldering iron had a similar one of this. It had one of these little sort of pointy tips. And apparently that's a big no-no because it doesn't heat the actual pad and the little pin that's sticking out fast enough. So everyone seems to be reckoning that you need to have this little guy, which has got a bit of a little sort of looks a bit like a screwdriver point on it, which you can actually then get in contact with your board quite nicely. So if you've got a little board here, I was trying to solder some header pins onto this the other day. You can probably see, don't know how well that camera's working, but it looks pretty messy. That was my first attempt. But what happens is if you actually make contact now with this, it's going to give you a much better contact because it's got that flat head. It's going to give you much more contact point to the actual pin and the base. Some of the key things, I've been doing a little bit of research on soldering, and I found that you need to have, first of all, some resin, solder resin or rosin or whatever it's called. Flux, that's the word I'm looking for. So you need some flux. I'm waiting. I've ordered some off Ali. That's on the way. I've ordered some solder. I've ordered a couple of pads. I've also got this little guy, which is a little multi-hand goodie. I ordered this off Ali. Now this, I must admit, with AliExpress, sometimes you get some really good stuff and sometimes you get some pretty poor quality stuff. These little arms seem to be okay, but the magnifying glass connection here is really, really poor. This is just cheap as ever. So yeah, I don't know if I would buy this one again. I would perhaps try and get a slightly better multi-tool helping hand thing. But these are good for if you're trying to solder, at least it holds everything. And then I got this little pot scrubber, which is really good apparently for cleaning your tip. Back in the day, I used to use the little, Johnny is in the USA. Oh, Christian is, hey, Johnny, actually in the USA now. Ah, okay, all right. So Johnny is in Sweden. Oh, no, he's not. Well, I'm getting all sorts of confused here. Now, just to let you know, I know it's a real pain that I'm looking away to the screen on that side, but this morning I just ordered an Elgato prompter so that I can actually have my live comments coming up on the screen so I can keep looking at you directly. So, bit of luck, next live stream, we'll be able to do that. So, hey, Johnny, actually in the US. So, Christian is in the US. Johnny, not sure yet. So, yeah. Good old USA. My brother lives in the USA. I love the USA. I've been to visit there once, twice actually, and love it. Awesome country. Hoping back soon. I would really like to go along to CES one day. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place here, but I'm trying to. There we go. Johnny's saying flux makes a huge difference. Yes. So reading up about soldering on YouTube or watching videos, apparently flux really makes a big difference. So I've ordered my flux. I'm going to try that out. I've got my pine seal now, which is, I will be making a video on this just to show you my thoughts on it. I see that all sorts of people are trying these out. They seem to be loving them. So I'm going to be doing a bit of trial and error work on this. I mean, if you look at, for example, the soldering on this ESP32 board, look at that. Looks fantastic, probably done by a machine, but I always seem to either underheat it so that the pad is not actually heated up as well as the pin, and then it just comes with this little bobble of solder on the pin and nothing on the pad, or I overheat it and then it burns the board out. So yeah, I agree with you totally, Christian. Soldering is challenging, and especially when you're wearing glasses and your sight is not what it used to be when you were 18 years old. So I'm pretty amazed at these people that are soldering with these surface mounted stuff. I've watched a couple of videos of people making fantastic little items on using soldering onto, all sorts of ways of soldering surface mounted stuff. I'm not even there yet. So I'm just trying to learn to solder a header pin onto a board. So anyway, we'll play around some more with soldering and hopefully we can get these little guys working. As I say, this is a little pot scrubber which works quite well for cleaning your tips. Back in the day, I used to have a little sponge that you wet, but apparently the pot scrubber is the way to go now. So we'll be trying that out. I'm going to be playing a lot more with that little guy and with the soldering in the future, and I will put up a little video. Now, it's really great, by the way, to be back. So, Christian, you're from Hanover. Awesome. That's fantastic. Now, Hanover, my geography is shocking. So, if you can maybe just let me know which country Hanover is in. I am absolutely terrible. Do apologize for that, but please let us know where Hanover. I know it's somewhere in Europe, but I'm not quite sure exactly where it is. Now, big news is I'm actually going to visit China in just over a week's time, which is going to be super exciting. I'm going to visit Shenzhen, which is sort of the tech capital of the world, isn't it? So I will be shooting some video over there. Hopefully I'm going to meet some really interesting manufacturers over there that we can have a look at some different products. Now, recently on my channel, I actually did a review of a voice assistant. And it's interesting. People have just really jumped on that video and they seems to be a lot of interest. I know that Home Assistant is planning to bring out their own voice assistant hardware soon, which is going to be pretty exciting to see a professional or better build. Because the unit that I did get, it is a little bit janky. It arrived when I picked up the box. I could feel something shaking around, so I thought there was something not good in there. But basically, it had this really heavy magnet on the speaker, and the speaker had basically disconnected it from the plastic unit, and it was all Germany. You're gonna, all the Germans out there are gonna kill me because I actually work for a German company, so that's a shocker, me not knowing that. But Good on you, mate. Hanover, Germany. What is your time over in Germany at the moment? Germany is somewhere I'd love to visit. The company I work for full time is in the construction industry, manufacturing various different building membranes and tapes. And I would love to visit Germany some stage and maybe have a ride on the Autobahn and visit our factory over there. It'd be pretty exciting. But yeah, getting back to my trip, I'm going to Shenzhen, China soon. So hopefully be able to meet some really cool suppliers. I'm really excited to see the new sort of hardware that is going to be coming out soon. Now, talking about hardware and talking about cameras, I've actually, Realink's invited me to be on one of their live streams this afternoon. It'll be New Zealand time, 3 p.m. It is, I think they said it is 10 past 10 at night. Okay, Johnny. Wow, so you're exactly 12 hours away from me. That's crazy. It always amazes me with time zones how people can be on all over the world and we're all different days, different time zones. So you must be yesterday. So it's 22nd, yeah, you must be 21st. So where was I? I'm all over the place. Anyway, getting back to Realink. So I'm going to be doing a Realink live stream later today. It's on the Realink YouTube channel and it is in 4.5 hours time from now. So if you are interested in winning yourself a Realink camera or something, they're going to be giving away something in that live stream. I'm going to be pressing the button and someone's going to win a camera from Realink. So if you are interested in joining in that, I've been doing quite a lot of testing of Realink cameras recently. I really like the integration that Home Assistant has got with Realink at the moment. It's pulling in so much data. What I really like is the pulling in the AI detection data. So I've got a PTZ camera out the front here. It's faced towards my road. And what it does is obviously there's heaps of cars going by. It's a pretty busy road, but I want to know when people are coming into my property. So I put it onto people detection and well, you're in the future. Yeah, exactly. I'm in the future. Amazingly, by 12 hours. Yeah, it's just crazy. World time zones, they just freak me out. Anyway, so getting back to that, Realink, if you are keen, pop on by in 4.5 hours. Just go to the Realink YouTube channel and you'll see that I will be live with Realink. We're going to have a bit of a giveaway and a bit of fun. So yeah, should be a bit of a fun event for me. Now, what I'm going to talk about today, what got me onto soldering was recently I wanted to make this little guy smart. Now, I'm sure you've seen these things. They are little ultrasonic, what do you call it? A diffuser. That's the term for it. So ultrasonic diffusers, you basically put some water in there. You put some nice smelling sort of stuff, and then you put the lid on and you press the button, and it's got some little LED lights in there that can light up, but more importantly, the ultrasonic device will start ultrasonicking and it will produce a little bouncing amount of water, and slowly the fumes come out the top and you get a nice smell in your kitchen or your bathroom, wherever you're using it. Now, the issue with these guys is that you can't use them or you can't control them with a little smart plug. Christian, what are you saying there? Realink and Home Assistant is supposed to be a great combo. Yeah, they totally are, Christian. I can honestly say I've got about 5 Realink cameras now, and I've got a Realink NVR, and I've got a Realink hub. Now, the Realinks are fantastic. First of all, because I did a video recently, but they are in that sweet spot. So you've got your sort of professional cameras, Hikvision and these sort of the high-end stuff, which is super expensive. Yes, there are some real great components or benefits of the high-end stuff. And I was hanging out with a mate of mine recently. He's got a lot of the high-end stuff. Some of the really cool things, and I'm hoping we're going to discuss on Reelink today. I'm going to be asking them about what sort of new AI stuff they've got planned. because the sort of stuff I want to be able to do with the camera is reading number plates. So this friend of mine, he's basically reading number plates in his street. So his camera just constantly polls every single car that drives past. And the beauty of that is it then spits out at the end of each day, it gives him a spreadsheet with all of the number plates that have gone past. And he's actually helped out with people in his neighborhood through a Facebook group where people have had burglaries and stuff. And his camera's picked up the car going up past and they've got the number plate and everything. So that's something that I'm really keen on checking out, is what they're going to do here, especially since last RTSP updates in HA 2024.11. Yeah, totally. The just the Reolink stuff, yeah, they're obviously working very closely with Paulus and the team at Home Assistant, because it's all developments that are created, they're actually built into Home Assistant. You don't have to use hacks or anything. You've got the RTSP feeds, you've got everything going. So yeah, I'm super chuffed with the Reolink cameras I've tested so far. My personal choice, my favorite camera by them at the moment is the PTZ one with the double lenses. I can't remember the name of it, but it's got two lenses. So it's got a zoomed lens and it's got a zoom back lens. So you've actually got two cameras with two feeds, but they only take up one slot on my NVR. So it's pretty cool. It's got PTZ, so it's got full tracking. It's got a little floodlight. So what I do is I set it on person detection at night. So basically anyone that walks past my house, the camera will start following them, and then we'll also switch on the spotlight. So I reckon that's a really good deterrent of people actually coming onto my property and causing any issues. So yeah, I like PoE, Power over Ethernet cameras, because they're just really reliable. It's recording 24/7 to my NVR. First time I've tried an NVR and I'm hooked. Compared to trying to use SD cards and Wi-Fi and batteries, this is so secure. I know it's recording 24/7. If something happens, I can go there. I don't have to pay for any sort of any cloud storage or anything like that. I've got one cloud thing that I pay for, and that is Nabucasa. And I'm really happy to pay for Nabucasa because I really support Paulus and the team at Home Assistant. And I think I gladly pay my 10 New Zealand dollars or $7 US every month. So yeah, jump on that stream if you do want to this afternoon. It's going to be a lot of fun. Might be a little bit late for you, Christian. I'm not sure if you'll be up in 4 hours time. It'd be 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning for you. So anyway, getting back to my little diffuser. So the problem we have with these diffusers is that they've got these buttons on the side. It's just a little press button in. Now what happens is if I plug this into a smart plug and I switch the smart plug on, nothing happens. It just sits there because I actually have to go and press the button to get this to work. So I really wanted to have this thing coming on once or twice a day and just making my house smell fresh. It'll switch on for 30 minutes if I give it one press. So that's perfect. So I was looking at the options. The first option I thought was I'll get one of those little switch bot, the little finger that goes in there, give it a press, and I sort of looked at it and it was a bit janky. It was going to be ugly, and I decided not. So then I thought, well, if I open this guy up and I can find a way to switch these buttons by connecting some wires to the back of it, and then I thought, oh, I'll get an ESP32 and I'll flash it with ESP Home and I'll do all that stuff. But it was quite a mission. Then I had to have so this runs off 12 volts DC. So I had to have a step down transformer. And then I thought about Shelly. And I thought, well, Shelly's going to be an awesome option. So that's what I've done. All I've done, I've put a Shelly 1. So Shelly 1, the beauty of Shelly 1 is it runs off 12 volts if you wanted to. It can run off 220 as well, but I run it off 12 volts DC, which is the same as what this is running off. So I've got my little Shelly 1 inside there. I'm not going to open it up now, but I will be doing a video on this. But I've got my Shelly 1 inside of there. Don't know if you can see it on the camera there. There we go. It's sitting inside there. I've taken it out of the actual blue box because it wouldn't fit with the blue box, but you can see the little, all the pins there and the relay itself sitting inside there. And all I've done, I've soldered 2 wires from there from the supply side going to the 12 volt coming in, and the other 2 wires I've wired to the back of this little switch. Okay, and all I do then is, you can't just switch it on. You actually have to switch it on and then switch it off a second later. So I create a little automation, basically turns it on, turns it off, and on my little diffuser goes for 30 minutes. Really, really great little integration. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change that for a Shelly Uni. Have I got my Shelly Uni? Here's my Shelly Uni. Just been playing with the Shelly Uni again. The beauty of Shelly Uni, and the reason that I think these are really cool, is that Shelly Uni is really designed for this purpose. First of all, you can see it doesn't have a case at all, so it's really tiny and neat to fit in there. But the beauty about Shelly 1 or Shelly Uni is that we've got these 2 sets of wires, 4 wires coming out this end. Now, these are designed to basically, they've got an optocoupler inside here. And when you press the button in Home Assistant, it will close that optocoupler. Now, just remember, the optocoupler has got a very low current that it can handle all your burn it out. So, like with this relay that I've got it running at the moment, the relay is powered by 5 volts, but the supply to the actual controller of the relay is very low watts or amps that drives through there, so it's quite happy. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take, because I've got 2, I've got one that I can do to turn the mist on, and I've got the other one that I can do to actually turn the light on. So I can have individual control of the LED lights within this, and individual control of the actual the mist. So that's how I'm going to automate this. It's going to work really great. And then I'm also going to connect up a temperature sensor as well, because there's so many options you can do with these. So I'm going to have that as a temperature sensor as well. So that's little guy. It was a really fun project. One of the best projects I've done recently. Actually, I'm really getting into making or changing and updating my dumb appliances, trying to get them smart. It's great buying stuff and things, but it's even better to actually make things. So that was my one project. Now, another project that I've just completed, and I featured this, sorry about that, I featured this in one of my videos recently, and a lot of people were asking me, what is this little device? So, this little device is a project running off WLED. I'm not sure if you guys have played with WLED, but it's a fantastic way of controlling LED matrices, LED strips from within Home Assistant. You load it up, you just flash one of these guys, you flash an ESP32 with WLED, you hook up the pins directly to the LED strip or the LED matrix, and this is Wi-Fi obviously, and it controls the device. Now, what I like about this is I had done this a while ago and it looked pretty cool, but I didn't have the box. So at the time, I didn't have a 3D printer, and I wasn't able, I just put it in a normal old picture frame, and it looked pretty rubbish. But recently I found, well, I got a 3D printer recently. I did a test on a 3D printer. It was the cheapest 3D printer available. And Ender sent it to me, and Creality, and I tried it out, and it is a pretty cool little device, I must admit. 3D printing, I thought 3D printer, it's just going to sit there, I'm not going to use it. But it was actually super cool. I had so much fun. Well, I am having so much fun with it. And this is a cool little project. I printed some of the basic things, like these things it comes out with. But yeah, I was really keen to do something cool, and this was a fun project. It's a 4-piece print. It's got the outside piece, it's got the back section, and then it's got this matrix, and then it's got a piece that holds everything in from the back. And as you can see, this is pretty cool. This is a 16 by 16, I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, yeah, something like that. 16 by 16 matrix. And you've got full control over these LEDs with WLED. You can control that directly from within Home Assistant. And it's a super cool little project. Very easy to make, very easy to print, and I think it works out fantastically. When you see the LEDs in person, they actually look much brighter and much more colorful. The studio lights here are making it look a little bit weak. But that's a great project, and I will be featuring that project in one of my videos coming up soon as well. So what else have we got to chat about? Johnny, Christian, don't know if you're still around, but if you are, let me know if there's anything you want to chat about. Some of the other cool little devices I've got this little Ulanzi clock. I've had a lot of questions over the years about this little guy, Ulanzi. This is also LED matrix type thing. You can control it directly within Home Assistant via MQTT. So this is a great little clock as well. Nice little device. I love little displays like this. This is another cool thing I've been playing with recently. E-ink displays. I think e-ink displays are a fantastic development, especially for something like this. Now, this is a little temperature humidity sensor from Shelly that I tried out a while ago. What's interesting is on the stream, all the writing is back to front. I'm not quite sure why that is. I'll have to try and figure that out. But basically, I like e-ink displays. I think they're pretty cool. I see they even come out in color now. They're not for everything. I've seen ones where you press the screen, touch screens and that. I don't think they're so cool, but just for displaying information is pretty cool. So this one, for example, there's no batteries in. It hasn't been plugged in for a day, and it's still, the e-ink is still powered. Isn't that incredible? I mean, it's not updating, but just amazing how it actually stores that image without any energy going in at all. So yeah, so e-ink displays, I think there is quite a lot of sort of thing. Oh, you've got the Ulanzi as well, Johnny. What do you think of it? What have you done with it? Have you actually programmed it much? I'm just running the normal clock. I can turn it on and off with Home Assistant, but what I'm quite keen to get into at some stage is sending messages. Like, for example, I've been playing with plants. I love my plants. I've got these little plant sensors from the green ones that come from Apollo. I've been playing with them recently, and what I'd like to do is to be able to send a message to Ulanzi and say, please water the plants. Stuff like that I think is cool. These are just a really cost-effective, hey, Gary, let's put you up there. Sorry, I'm getting a bit dry. Let me get a bit of water. Gary MCK, fellow Kiwi, just wondering how the HVAC damper has been working for you. Gary, the damper is working really, really awesome. It works awesome. I actually just bought the one damper just to try it out. I haven't actually put it into my heat recovery ventilation system as yet. I'm just trying to work a few things out. One of the things with my heat recovery ventilation system, it doesn't have a summer override. So I'm trying to figure out how to create a summer override system for my heat recovery unit. So I haven't quite figured that out, but yeah, the damper itself works really, really well. I also did the little add-on to the damper where I put a magnetic reed switch on it so that I could actually feed back to Home Assistant on whether it was open or closed. So yeah, the damper was a fun little project, I must admit. Sorry, I'm missing a whole lot of things here. We've got Johnny. I'm playing with Open e-paper link now. Uses e-paper tags. Yes, Johnny, I've seen that. It is a super cool thing. I love those little e-ink displays. And yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. So you can basically get those cheap displays and you can push data to them. That is something that I saw and I was really keen to try out. Next, we've got Adam, just bought a Eufy C33 smart door lock and love it. Any opinion on Eufy versus Reolink products? Another fellow Kiwi. Awesome. All the Kiwis are jumping online today. That is fantastic. Do you guys not work for a living? I should be working, but I'm off today. I took a day's annual leave because I've got that Reolink stream on later. So I took a day's leave, but yeah, great that you guys are online at this time of the morning. So getting back to your question, Eufy versus Reolink. Okay. Now, Eufy products, I haven't actually used them personally. I did help a friend of mine to install some Eufy cameras recently, And the feedback that I've got from people is that the quality of the video is pretty good. The Eufy cameras are not as friendly to integration into Home Assistant as what Reolink is, from what I can see. I haven't personally integrated them, but they don't have the level of integration that you've got. Secondly, as far as I know, most of the Eufys are operating on cloud storage. So you've got to pay for cloud storage. I'm not sure. I'm sure there are ones where you can have SD cards linked, put inside them or in the hub. I don't know because I haven't done much with Eufy yet. But the limitations with Eufy is that, yeah, generally battery cameras, generally Wi-Fi cameras. After playing around with a lot of different cameras, I really do prefer to go power over Ethernet. So you've got your Ethernet cable running your camera feed and your power. Honestly, it's rock solid. You're never going to have an issue. Only problem is obviously getting the cabling to the camera. So yeah, my personal thought is Reolink is a great middle of the range product. It's not super expensive, but it's not on the cheaper side either. So, you know, in New Zealand dollars, I think most of these cameras are between 200 and 400 sort of New Zealand dollars. In US dollars, they like between 100 and 200 or 220 or whatever. So, yeah, they're reasonably expensive depending on your budget. I would personally rather spend a little bit more, get a power over Ethernet camera and get a Reolink so that it's going to integrate well into Home Assistant. I'm going to be chatting with the guys later today in the live stream. I want to know from them what is their future of AI detection, because I would love to be able to get a Reolink camera that can do number plate recognition and facial recognition. That is my goal, is to find out if they've got some plans like that, because that's what I'm hoping to get here. Johnny says, love plants. Ask Crow to send you the Grow Cube. I've made the HA integration for those. Yeah, totally. I have seen that Grow Tube, Johnny, or Grow Cube, and it looks super cool. I think one of the YouTubers from Australia tested out the Grow Cube recently. I'm messing my words up here. My mouth's getting a bit dry. But yeah, Grow Cube is an absolutely awesome looking little device. Yeah, that's the one I think with the water in it. So it measures the amount of moisture and then pumps the water out to it. Now, I know that my friends at Apollo are producing at the moment the Pump One. And the Pump One is going to tie in with those sensors and then work similar to a Grow Cube where it'll pump water out. But yeah, really keen to try out that Grow Cube. There's just some really cool smart home products that are coming out at the moment. It's pretty amazing what we're seeing. Recently, I played with one of these. This is pretty cool. Raspberry Pi 5, and it's in this little case from Pyroman. This was a fun little project putting this together. It's pretty cool. I've got SD card here in the front, but you can fit a NVMe in there as well. This is a great little device, but running Home Assistant on this, super fast. Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's been fantastic doing this live stream this morning. Really great to get back into live streaming. Believe me, now that I've got this new platform working, there will be lots more live streams. Thank you so much for everyone that has come on board this morning. The only reason that I'm going to have to stop is that I have a live stream coming up in 4 hours with Reolink, and my voice is already starting to sound a little bit gruff. So I don't want to lose it for later. But I will be back again very soon, probably, maybe even this weekend sometime. We'll do another live stream. It'll be fantastic to have you guys on board again. Thank you so much, and please feel free, leave any comments. Let me know what sort of things you'd like me to be reviewing, and let's have a chat again next time. Bye for now.